Today, we remember the women who made the world laugh, the brilliant comedian actresses whose humor, charm, and spirit brought light into countless lives. Behind every joke was a story, behind every smile, a heart that gave everything to their art. Some left us too soon, but their laughter still echoes, reminding us how deeply they touched our hearts. This video is a tribute to their joy, their courage, and the unforgettable warmth they left behind. Joan Rivers, the beloved American comedian, actress, and television host, passed away on September 4, 2014, at the age of 81. Her death was heartbreaking and sudden. What began as a routine throat procedure in New York turned into tragedy when she went into cardiac arrest during surgery, was placed in a medically induced coma, and never recovered. The official cause was brain damage caused by a lack of oxygen, leaving her family and fans devastated. As one of the boldest and funniest women in entertainment, Joan made her mark with unforgettable appearances on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, where her sharp wit and fearless humor won audiences over instantly. She became the first woman to host a late-night talk show with The Late Show starring Joan Rivers, and later found new fame with Fashion Police, her own daytime talk show, and countless stand-up specials. Her comedy was cutting, unapologetic, and often controversial, but it was also honest, and it made her a trailblazer for women in comedy. Joan Rivers was born Joan Alexandra Malinsky on June 8, 1933, in Brooklyn, New York, to Russian Jewish immigrant parents. From childhood, she loved performing and dreamed of being on stage. Though her early years were filled with struggles, she worked odd jobs, performed in small clubs, and endured rejection after rejection before finally breaking through in the 1960s comedy scene. Her big break came in 1965 when Johnny Carson invited her to The Tonight Show, changing her career forever. Her personal life carried both triumphs and tragedies. She lost her husband, Edgar Rosenberg, to suicide in 1987, a devastating blow that nearly ended her own life as well. But Joan pushed forward, rebuilding her career through resilience, humor, and relentless work. She raised her daughter Melissa Rivers with love and later became a doting grandmother. When Joan passed, tributes poured in from comedians, actors, and fans across the world. Chris Rock, Kathy Griffin, and Whoopi Goldberg praised her as a pioneer, while Melissa Rivers remembered her not just as a comedy legend, but as a best friend and mother. Her funeral, filled with celebrities, music, and laughter, was exactly the kind of farewell she had often joked about wanting. Joan Rivers will always be remembered as one of the funniest, most fearless women to ever hold a microphone. Phyllis Diller, the beloved American comedian and actress, passed away on August 20, 2012, at the age of 95. She died peacefully at her home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, from heart failure, leaving behind a legacy of laughter that spanned more than 5 decades. Known for her wild hair, outrageous costumes, and unforgettable cackling laugh, Phyllis became one of the first women to dominate the male-dominated world of stand-up comedy. She entertained millions with her fearless self-deprecating humor, her endless jokes about her imaginary husband Fong, and her willingness to laugh at herself, even about her many plastic surgeries. She starred in her own sitcom The Pruitts of Southampton, made regular appearances on Laugh-In, The Hollywood Squares, and The Ed Sullivan Show, and brought her humor to the big screen in films like Boy, Did I Get a Wrong Number? And The Private Navy of Sergeant O'Farrell. She even lent her voice to beloved animated characters, including the Queen in A Bug's Life and Granny Neutron in Jimmy Neutron. Phyllis Ada Driver was born on July 17, 1917, in Lima, Ohio. In her early years, she studied music and dreamed of being a concert pianist, but her path changed after marriage and motherhood. At the age of 37, while raising 6 children, she made her comedy debut at San Francisco's Purple Onion Club. What was meant to be a short run turned into an 89-week sensation and launched her career. From there, she became a frequent guest on talk shows, especially alongside her close friend and mentor Bob Hope, with whom she performed for American troops around the world. Though she endured personal hardships, including the loss of 2 children and health struggles later in life, she never lost her humor and often said that laughter was her greatest form of therapy. She was honored with the American Comedy Award for Lifetime Achievement in 1992 and is remembered as the trailblazer who opened doors for generations of female comedians like Joan Rivers, Lily Tomlin, and Ellen DeGeneres. Phyllis Diller will always be remembered as the fearless pioneer who made laughter her gift to the world. Carol Channing, the beloved American actress, comedian, and Broadway star, passed away on January 15, 2019, at the age of 97. She died of natural causes at her home in Rancho Mirage, California, just 2 weeks before her 98th birthday. With her wide grin, unmistakable raspy voice, and unforgettable comic timing, Channing became one of the most recognizable entertainers in American history. She first captured hearts as Lorelei Lee in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1949, where she introduced the now classic song Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Her greatest triumph came in 1964 when she starred as Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly, a role she performed more than 5,000 times and one that earned her a Tony Award. On screen, she stood out as Muzzy in Thoroughly Modern Millie in 1967, winning a Golden Globe Award and receiving an Academy Award nomination. On television, she became a favorite guest on talk and variety shows, while also lending her voice to animated series that brought her humor to new generations. Carol Elaine Channing was born on January 31, 1921, in Seattle, Washington, and grew up in San Francisco. Drawn to performing from a young age, she studied drama at Bennington College before moving to New York to pursue her dream. After years of struggle, she found success in the late 1940s and quickly rose to fame for her larger-than-life stage presence. Her exaggerated expressions, physical humor, and magnetic personality made her a unique figure in comedy and theater. Away from the spotlight, Channing experienced both challenges and happiness in her personal life. She was married 4 times and later found companionship with her childhood sweetheart, Harry Colligian, whom she married late in life. She was open about her heritage and was deeply devoted to her Christian Science faith, which guided her through health struggles over the years. Elaine Stritch, the beloved American actress, singer, and comedian, passed away on July 17, 2014, at the age of 89. She died at her home in Birmingham, Michigan, from complications related to stomach cancer and diabetes. Known for her sharp wit, brash honesty, and unforgettable stage presence, Stritch became one of Broadway's most iconic comedic voices. She earned Tony nominations for Bus Stop in 1956, Sail Away in 1962, and Stephen Sondheim's Company in 1970, where her performance of The Ladies Who Lunch became legendary. In 2002, she won a Tony Award for her one-woman show Elaine Stritch at Liberty, where she mixed comedy with raw personal stories. Beyond the stage, she was unforgettable on television as Colleen Donaghy, Alec Baldwin's strong-willed mother in 30 Rock, which earned her an Emmy Award. She also brought her biting humor to films like Autumn in New York, Monster in Law, and Woody Allen September. Whether on stage, screen, or cabaret, her comedic style was fearless and brutally honest. Elaine Stritch was born on February 2, 1925, in Detroit, Michigan, into a Catholic family of Irish and Welsh descent. She studied acting at the New School's Dramatic Workshop in New York, training alongside future stars like Marlon Brando and Bea Arthur. Her Broadway debut came in 1946 with the play Loco, and within a few years, she became a fixture in theater, known for her bold voice and comic timing. In the 1970s, she also built a career in London, starring in the hit sitcom Two's Company and gaining international acclaim. Offstage, Stritch faced personal struggles, including a long battle with alcoholism and the loss of her husband, actor John Bay, in 1982. Yet she continued to perform with energy and honesty, often turning her life's hardships into the heart of her comedy. She became a fixture in New York cabaret, performing at the Café Carlyle well into her 80s, where audiences adored her mix of music, sarcasm, and storytelling. Victoria Wood, the beloved English television actress, comedian, writer, and singer, passed away on April 20, 2016, at the age of 62. She died peacefully at her home in London after a private battle with cancer, surrounded by her loved ones. Known for her sharp wit, down-to-earth humor, and heartfelt storytelling, Victoria became one of Britain's most admired comedy talents. She first rose to fame in the 1980s with her hit sketch series Victoria Wood, as seen on TV, which gave audiences unforgettable characters like those in Acorn Antiques and moments of comedy that celebrated ordinary British life. She later created and starred in the sitcom Dinner Ladies, a warm and funny look at everyday workers in a factory canteen that captured her unique blend of humor and heart. Beyond comedy, she showed remarkable depth as a writer and actress, earning 2 BAFTAs for her moving television drama Housewife, 49. Her performances combined humor with humanity, always rooted in observation, empathy, and truth. Victoria Wood was born on May 19, 1953, in Prestwich, Lancashire, England. Shy and introspective as a child, she found comfort in music, often playing the piano to express herself. Her love for writing and performing began in her school years and continued while studying drama at the University of Birmingham. Her breakthrough came after winning the 1974 talent show New Faces, which led to appearances on television and stage, where her songwriting and comedic timing stood out. Through the years, she became known for her natural connection with audiences, crafting sketches, songs, and monologues that reflected real life with both humor and compassion. Away from the spotlight, Victoria lived a quiet and private life. She had 2 children with magician Geoffrey Durham, and although the couple later separated, they remained close friends. Despite her fame, she preferred staying out of celebrity culture, focusing instead on her work and her family. Rose Marie, the beloved American comedian, singer, and television actress, passed away on December 28, 2017, at the age of 94. She died peacefully in her sleep at her home in Van Nuys, California, after a life spent bringing laughter to millions across nearly 9 decades. Known for her quick wit, sharp humor, and unmistakable voice, Rose Marie became one of television's earliest and most respected female comedians. She won the hearts of audiences as Sally Rogers on The Dick Van Dyke Show, playing a brilliant comedy writer in a male-dominated room, a role that reflected her own real-life strength and talent. Her chemistry with Dick Van Dyke and Maury Amsterdam made her a standout star. She later appeared as Myrna Gibbons on The Doris Day Show and became a regular on Hollywood Squares, where her humor and charm made her a fan favorite for more than a decade. From radio to Broadway, film, and television, she was known for her perfect comedic timing and fierce independence in an era when few women dared to stand out in comedy. Rose Marie Mozzetta was born on August 15, 1923, in Manhattan, New York. A natural performer from the start, she began singing on stage at just 3 years old under the name Baby Rose Marie. Her deep, adult-like voice stunned audiences and made her one of radio's first child stars. By the time she was 10, she had her own NBC radio show and had already recorded hit songs. As she grew older, her talent evolved. She transitioned from child performer to nightclub entertainer, performing in venues across the country, including those run by organized crime figures who admired her talent and treated her like family. Her big break on television came in the early 1960s when she joined The Dick Van Dyke Show, which turned her into a household name. Beyond her career, she was deeply devoted to her family, especially her husband, trumpeter Bobby Guy, until his untimely death in 1964, a heartbreak she carried quietly while continuing to perform. Teri Garr, the beloved American film and television actress, passed away on October 29, 2024, at the age of 79. She died peacefully at her home in Los Angeles after complications from multiple sclerosis, a disease she had bravely battled for more than 2 decades. Known for her natural humor, expressive face, and impeccable timing, Teri became one of the most adored comedic actresses of her generation. She won audiences over with her unforgettable roles in Young Frankenstein, Mr. Mom, and Tootsie, where she played the sweet but struggling actress Sandy, a role that earned her an Academy Award nomination. Her performances always carried warmth, honesty, and a touch of chaos that made her characters real and relatable. She also appeared in Close Encounters of the Third Kind and became a favorite guest on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and The Late Show with David Letterman, where her quick wit and candid humor made her an instant hit. Whether in film, sitcoms, or talk shows, Teri Garr had a unique way of blending vulnerability with laughter. Teri Ann Garr was born on December 11, 1944, in Los Angeles, California. into a show business family. Her father, Garr, was a vaudeville comedian, and her mother, Phyllis, was a dancer with the Rockettes. Surrounded by performance from a young age, Teri studied ballet and began dancing professionally while still a teenager. She first appeared as a dancer in several Elvis Presley movies and television shows before moving into acting, where her humor and charm quickly set her apart. Through the 1970s and 1980s, she became a familiar face in Hollywood comedies, balancing glamour and goofiness with effortless skill. Off-screen, Teri was known for her warmth and resilience. In 1999, she publicly revealed her diagnosis with multiple sclerosis, using her platform to raise awareness with grace and humor. Despite her health challenges, she continued to appear on television and remained a symbol of strength and perseverance. Ruth and Buzzi, the beloved American television actress and comedian, passed away on May 1, 2025, at the age of 88, after a long and courageous battle with Alzheimer's disease. She spent her final years surrounded by love and comfort, leaving behind a legacy of laughter, strength, and groundbreaking comedy that inspired generations. Known for her sharp timing, expressive face, and unforgettable characters, Ruth became a household name through her work on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Her portrayal of Gladys Ormsby, the cranky spinster with a hairnet and deadly handbag, became one of the show's most loved characters. Her back-and-forth banter with Art Johnson, often ending with her whacking him with her purse, became television history and earned her 5 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe Award. Her humor blended innocence with sarcasm, charm with fire, making her one of the most versatile women in comedy. Beyond Laugh-In, Ruth appeared on The Dean Martin Show, The Carol Burnett Show, and The Doris Day Show, each performance showcasing her natural comedic brilliance. She also lent her voice to beloved children's programs like Sesame Street, The Berenstain Bears, and Super Mario Bros. Super Show, proving her ability to make both adults and children smile. Ruth Ann Buzzi was born on July 24, 1936, in Westerly, Rhode Island, and raised in the small town of Weequahic, Connecticut. Her father owned a stone carving business, and her mother encouraged her love for the arts. Ruth's passion for performing began early. She often entertained classmates and family with her impressions and jokes. After high school, she attended the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse, where she studied acting alongside future legends like Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman. Lulu Roman, the beloved American comedian, singer, and television actress, passed away on April 23, 2025, at the age of 78, from heart failure at her son's home in Bellingham, Washington. Best known for her unforgettable presence on the country comedy show Hee Haw, she brought endless laughter and warmth to millions with her quick wit, expressive humor, and kind spirit. Lulu's comedic timing and heartwarming charm made her one of the most loved stars of the show, lighting up screens for over 2 decades. Alongside her humor, her deep gospel voice carried a message of faith and hope, making her not just a comedian but a true inspiration to generations. Bertha Louise Lulu Roman was born on May 6, 1946, in Pilot Point, Texas. Born with a thyroid condition that affected her health from childhood, she was placed in an orphanage shortly after birth. Life wasn't easy for her, but even in hardship, she discovered a natural gift for making people laugh. Before fame found her, she performed in Dallas nightclubs, where her warm presence and humor caught attention. Her big break came in 1969 when she joined Hee Haw, a role that forever changed her life and made her a television icon. Despite personal struggles, including battles with addiction and health issues, Lulu found her strength and faith, turning her pain into purpose. She later became a celebrated gospel singer, releasing heartfelt albums that touched countless souls. Her autobiography, This Is My Story, This Is My Song, shared her journey of redemption, laughter, and grace. From the laughter she sparked to the faith she lived by, Lulu Roman's legacy remains one of courage, love, and joy, a true reminder that humor can heal even the heaviest of hearts. Erica Ashe, the beloved American actress and comedian, passed away on July 28, 2024, at the age of 46 after a brave battle with breast cancer. Her passing left a deep void in the world of comedy, where her bold humor, radiant energy, and warm spirit made her one of the most admired talents of her generation. She rose to fame with her hilarious performances on Mad TV and The Big Gay Sketch Show, where her spot-on impressions and fearless comedy made her a standout. Erica was equally loved for her role as M. Chuck on Survivor's Remorse, where she balanced sharp humor with emotional depth, earning praise from audiences and critics alike. She also shined in Real Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin Hart and appeared in films like Scary Movie v. Uncle Drew and We Have a Ghost, proving her range as both a comedian and actress. Her natural charm, expressive timing, and ability to bring laughter even in serious moments made her unforgettable. Erica Chantal Ashe was born on September 19, 1977, in Florida to U.S. Army Captain Donald Ashe and teacher Diane Ashe. Growing up in a military family, she lived in several countries, including Germany, which gave her a global perspective. Though she originally planned to become a doctor and earned a degree from Emory University, her path changed when she visited Japan. There, she began performing as a singer and model, discovering her love for the stage. That passion led her to Broadway, where she appeared in The Lion King and Baby It's You before stepping into television comedy. Mitzi M.C. Call, the beloved American actress and comedian, passed away on August 8, 2024, at the age of 93 at Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, California, from natural causes. Known for her sharp timing, warmth, and unmistakable charm, Mitzi's comedy touched audiences for over 7 decades. She rose to fame alongside her husband and comedy partner, Charlie Brill, as part of the duo MC Call and Brill. Their witty, affectionate humor and seamless chemistry made them one of the most loved acts in television variety history. Mitzi's unforgettable performances on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, The Ed Sullivan Show, The Twilight Zone, Roseanne, and Seinfeld showcased her remarkable ability to balance quick wit with heart. Her comedic style was both smart and gentle, never cruel, always human. One of her most memorable moments came in 1964 when she and Charlie performed on The Ed Sullivan Show the same night the Beatles made their American debut, a story she later recalled with laughter and grace. Born Mitzi Joan Steiner on September 9, 1930, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she began performing at a young age, hosting the children's show Kitty Castle before moving to Hollywood. There, she appeared in early films like You're Never Too Young with Jerry Lewis and Machine Gun Kelly, showing early signs of her bright comedic future. She met Charlie Brill in 1959, and their love and partnership lasted more than 60 years, both on and off stage. Together, they built a life filled with laughter, resilience, and mutual respect. Mitzi also lent her voice to beloved animated shows such as Hey Arnold and The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show, connecting with a new generation of fans. Off-screen, she was known for her kindness, humor, and encouragement to younger comedians. Even in her later years, she continued to act, appearing in Seinfeld and World's Greatest Dad alongside Robin Williams. Mitzi M.C. Call's passing marked the end of an era of classic, heartfelt comedy, but her laughter, grace, and joy will forever remain a part of television history. Janey Godley, the beloved Scottish comedian, actress, and writer, passed away on November 2, 2024, at the age of 63 after a long and brave battle with ovarian cancer. Known for her fearless humor, quick wit, and unfiltered honesty, Janey became one of Scotland's most loved and outspoken comedic voices. Her work often mixed laughter with heartbreak, tackling subjects others avoided and finding humor in life's darkest corners. She rose to fame through her powerful storytelling, her raw one-woman shows, and her hilarious voice-over parodies that made her a viral sensation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Her voice-over videos of Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, filled homes with laughter and comfort, turning her into a national treasure. Janey's performances in Have I Got News for You, Traces, and her self-titled BBC documentary Janey showed not just her humor, but also her strength, depth, and humanity. Born Jane Godley Curry on January 20, 1961, in Glasgow's East End, her childhood was marked by hardship and pain. She faced poverty, family struggles, and personal trauma, yet turned those experiences into the heart of her comedy. Her early life shaped her voice, one that spoke fearlessly about survival, injustice, and finding hope through laughter. Before fame, she ran a Glasgow pub with her husband, Sean Story, where she first began performing. Her act was raw and emotional, blending truth with humor in a way that made audiences both laugh and think. Over the years, she won countless awards, including the Billy Connolly Spirit of Glasgow Award, and became an inspiration to new comedians. Even after her cancer diagnosis in 2021, she kept performing under the tour name Not Dead Yet, showing her unmatched courage and wit. Her last messages from hospice were filled with love and gratitude for her fans, a final reminder of her warmth and humor. Janey Godley left behind not just laughter, but a legacy of strength and honesty that will live on forever. Linda Smith, the beloved English comedian and comedy writer, passed away on February 27, 2006, at the age of 48, after a private and courageous battle with ovarian cancer. Known for her sharp wit, natural warmth, and quick humor, she became one of the most admired voices in British comedy, winning the hearts of millions through her unforgettable appearances on the news quiz Just a Minute, Have I Got News for You, and QI. Her radio sitcom A Brief History of Time-Wasting showed her talent for turning everyday life into clever, relatable humor, while her performances on Radio 4 earned her the title of Wittiest Living Person. In 2002, Linda's comedy carried a rare balance of intelligence and heart. She could make people laugh with political satire one moment and disarm them with her honesty the next. Her humor had the warmth of conversation and the bite of truth, and she became a voice people trusted and loved. Born Linda Helen Smith on January 29, 1958, in Erith, Kent, she grew up with a love for words and performing. After studying English and drama at the University of Sheffield, she began her career in theater before moving into comedy, performing at small clubs and solidarity shows during the miners' strike. Her big break came when she won the Hackney Empire New Act of the Year in 1987, which led her to the Edinburgh Fringe and soon after to national radio. Over time, Linda became one of the most recognized voices on British airwaves. Known for her dry delivery and deadpan brilliance, she brought laughter to living rooms across the UK, especially through her appearances on I'm Sorry, I Haven't a Clue and Mock the Week. Offstage, she was deeply committed to humanism and became president of the British Humanist Association in 2004, representing her beliefs in kindness, fairness, and free thought. Even as she faced her illness, she never let it define her, continuing to work, perform, and make people laugh. Her passing left a silence in British comedy, but her influence never faded. Tributes poured in from peers like Stephen Fry, Andy Hamilton, and Barry Cryer, who called her one of the funniest and kindest people in comedy. Today, Linda Smith is remembered not only for her laughter but for her humanity, a comedian who found beauty and humor in the small details of life and left behind a legacy of wit, compassion, and courage.